Marco Polo is a 1982 American-Italian television miniseries originally broadcast by NBC in the United States and by RAI in Italy. It stars Kenneth Marshall as Marco Polo, the 13th-century Venetian merchant and explorer. The series also features appearances by Denholm Elliott, Anne Bancroft, John Gielgud, Burt Lancaster, Ian McShane, Leonard Nimoy, and others. It was originally broadcast in 4 episodes, where episodes 1 and 4 were twice as long as episodes 2 and 3. The series is sometimes divided into 6 equally long episodes. Set in the 13th century, the series follows the adventures of Marco Polo, who departs with his father and his uncle to China. His journey through Asia lasts 3.5 years and leads him through barren deserts and vast steppes. Marco spends several years in Beijing as a guest of the Great Khan, earning the trust and respect from the emperor. Marco Polo, Kenneth Marshall, accompanies a Venetian merchant fleet as it stops for the night. A raid results in Marco being taken prisoner. In the year 1299, in the Italian city of Genoa, Rustichello da Pisa, David Warner is held in a prison cell and questioned for information about Marco Polo. Marco Polo is revealed to be another prisoner, but is accused of lying. The people questioning him are Brother Damien of Milan, Patrick Moore, and Philippi of Genoa, Tony Lobianco, both members of the Order of St. Dominic. Both are concerned that the tales of Marco Polo are heretical and will corrupt the minds of people, especially children. As Rustichello narrates, the story shifts to Marco Polo in his youth. In his youth, Marco Polo was eager to hear merchants tell stories of their travels. As his mother, Anne Bancroft, lays on her deathbed, Marco's Aunt Flora, Sada Thompson, laments for his father, who has been away since before Marco was born and has sent nothing but items that she sees as idols of another god. His father Niccolo, Denholm Elliott, and uncle Matteo Polo, Tony Vogel, returned home. They appear before the Council of the Republic of Venice, hoping for a possible alliance between the Mongols and the Republic. The Polo brothers show the council Mongolian currency and tell stories of the might of the Mongols, but they are quickly rebuked due to pagan nature of the Mongols. The council has no interest in an alliance with the Mongols. The Doge of Venice, however, sees the potential of the Polos' quest and advises them to return to China immediately. Marco's father and uncle tell him of stories of the great Kublai Khan and his court in the Yuan dynasty in China. Intrigued, Marco asks them to take him with them, but he is refused. As Niccolo and Matteo attempt to find a sponsor for their next voyage, the father of a girl Marco earlier attempted to run away with demands compensation for Marco taking her virginity. Niccolo and Mafia realize that they must take Marco with them on their journey, but only as far as Jerusalem until the heat dies down in Venice. A few days before arriving at Jerusalem, Marco has his first taste of the world when he witnesses a contingent of crusaders massacre a tribe of Bedouin. In the city church, the Polos, at the favor of the Cardinal of Acre, receive some oil of the sepulchre via a letter from the Cardinal of Acre. The priest of the church is extremely reluctant to do it, but grants it. They then receive a message that the Cardinal of Acre, Burt Lancaster, wants to see them again. When they return to him, he reveals that he has been chosen to be the new pope by the College of Cardinals, and is providing 2 priests to accompany them so they can tell Kublai Khan about Christianity. In real life, it corresponds with the election of Teobaldo Visconti as Pope Gregory X. As the Polo family ready themselves to go east again, they are caught up in an ambush that kills Marco's friend Giulio. As they are taken prisoner, the party is taken before the Bedouin leader. The captor leader is an Italian who converted to Islam after being taken prisoner in Tripoli. He sets the party free. Back in Genoa in 1299, Rustichello is given a break from the interrogation. They find it hard to believe that the world to the east is full of pagan culture and gods. They do reject it but want more information to consider. Looking at the things he wrote down, the council are impressed by the depth of material. Picking off where he left off in the story, Rustichello says the party reaches Badakhshan, Afghanistan in 1273 and hunts for food. Continuing on into winter of the same year, they suffer an avalanche from Musta'ada mountain and Marco wakes alone in a mountain temple, which is filled with riches and statues, and the people are very welcoming. It is revealed that the temple is a Buddhist temple in Tibet. Here he questions his spirituality at the monk's invitation study nirvana, an invitation that was difficult to refuse. By spring of 1275, they reach the steppes of modern-day Gansu province, where they encounter a Mongol tribe. They stay at a Chinese-speaking group who entertain them for the visit. At night, Marco engages in a wrestling match in which he is defeated. They spend a few days there. Back in 1299, Rustichello's writings end there and the priests demand that he continue writing the stories he kept to himself. Marco Polo arrives in the city of Chengdu in 1275. They are granted a meeting with Kublai Khan, Engroching, who greets them generously. His wife is very accommodating and hosts a feast in the Polo's honor. That night in Chengdu, Marco Polo family is treated by Kublai Khan to a feast plus live entertainment for the night. The next morning, Kublai Khan and his son Shikin invite Marco Polo to a private meeting on the waterfront in a lake. He converses with the Khan, discussing a lot of things. One of the things he is intrigued by is the devices they have to tell time, that is different from using the solar devices the Western employ. The ruler asks for knowledge of other places, a request he responds with fascinated places such as Kashgar and cloths produced with asbestos. Pleasing the ruler with his knowledge, Marco Polo gains favor for his frankness to the ruler. Marco is tasked to update the maps of the empire, but task he eagerly does. Marco continues to bond with Chinkin, the ruler's son. As they went on a hunting trip, the son suffers an epileptic fit and is brought back to Kublai. Marco Polo is appointed at a position in the court of the Kublai Khan. Due to his rise of the power in the court, he is gaining new enemies, the priests led by Sayamon who believe that the Kublai is coming under bad influence from foreigner influence. As Chinkin and Marco arrive at the Great Wall, he learns the Great Wall is constructed by people commanded by the emperor. He is also told of the story of Meng Jiangnuk, who cries of grief of her dead husband, who worked on the Great Wall, destroyed a portion of the wall so it was unable to be reconstructed. Later that night, Marco's good Chinese friend is executed because he witnessed the epilepsy of the son of Kublai. In the autumn, Kublai Khan's subordinate in Persia, Ahmad Fanikati, Leonard Nimoy, returns to the Kublai's place, with the news that he has completed the conquest of the empire. As Ahmad meets Marco Polo, he is planning more conquests to strengthen the presence of the Mongols. As Marco's father and uncle work on trade routes, Marco is given some time to relax at the imperial complex and shown some of the people in life. He met some of the astronomers of China, then shown typical acupuncture done on the streets. However, it's impossible to avoid the interest of the Chinese who have grown a bit fond of the non-Asian. That evening, the gathering of leaders introduces rulers from the region, including one who has converted to Christianity. Kublai plans to invade Japan, but the advisors are cautious and believe it is foolish because they are experts on horseback and weak in the sea. Afterwards, Kublai Khan's consort convincingly tells Kublai to forego invasion of Japan, since the other leaders did not dare to stand up to Kublai due to his fearsome temper. Marco Polo's father and uncle return to him. After the reunion, Ahmad Fanikati grants the Polo family an audience. He tells Marco of two things to learn. 1. Marco is to not trust anyone, especially people who seem friendly. 2. He reveals that he is the master at the financial system of the empire and wants to send Marco to the region of Yenzhou to help collect taxes to the treasury. Marco is to go out and consort to the person named Talib, who is to be trusted. And no one else. The next day, Kublai spends time with the Chinkin. Chinkin is to be married and is not welcome to the people who despise Marco Polo. As he bids him farewell, the son leaves. That afternoon, Marco Polo leaves for Yenzhou. As Marco Polo comes at a river, an assassin fails, having been killed by Jacopo F. Murray Abraham. Back in 1299 in Genoa, Rustichello de Pisa is to be summoned to answer for his words. The brothers are deeply resistant and intolerant in belief of the stories Rustichello has told. They are undignified about it. As Marco Polo arrives at Talib's place, he is told people know of the attempt on his life, since news travels extremely fast. Arriving into town, he witnesses a short demonstration of protest against the rulers. Meeting the head of the town, Marco is welcomed to the house, seeking his advice. He is warned that the town's secrets are best not be revealed, having a white woman resident accidentally reveal herself. As he goes outside, he meets a villager Wangzhu, Sun Tekon, preparing a boat for the Dragon Boat Festival. Wangzhu reveals that corruption occurs greatly and Talib pockets half of the town's tax, sending the other half to the empire's treasury. The next day, Wangzhu takes the Polos to visit the immortals, wise men who live in the mountain. One immortal tells of the Yin Yang. As Marco wants to see his departed father and uncle, the resident foreign lady, Monicon, Catherine Dowling, wishes to take him to them, As they pause for the night, they find his father and uncle. When they go back, they witness Talib's soldiers raid and ransack the village, having not paid the taxes. Upon completion of the tax collection, Jacopo decides to stay while Marco and the family leave back to Kublai's court. In the court of the Kublai Khan, the two commanders in the invasion of Japan report back their defeat. Kublai Khan orders their death. Rebels sneak into the imperial palace to assassinate Ahmed as his corruption is ruining Chinese peasants' lives. The plot is uncovered just in time, and Kublai orders the deaths of everybody involved, including Ahmed. A governor of a region, Nayan, has risen up in revolt. Marco reaches out in peace, but fails. In a private meeting after a meeting of the most prominent leaders, Marco Polo is asked, "What would you do if you were the great Khan?" Mercy is the answer to the rebellious Nayan. However, Kublai Khan declares mercy to be inconsistent to the Khans. He leads an army to crush the army, but finds none as Nayan has dispersed the troops to avoid much bloodshed. Years pass and Marco Polo decides to leave. Kublai Khan is disappointed and reluctantly sees him off in one final ride. 2 years later in 1294, the great Khan dies, never having seen Marco again. Back in 1299 Genoa, Marco Polo is brought before the court in Genoa. The knowledge is believed to be heretical and different from current knowledge. However, Brother Damien confirms the truth by knowledge produced by various travelers and Arab traders. The monks confirm that the knowledge brought back from the East are not heretical, as sailors and traders have confirmed their star charts. Furthermore, they have brought similar stories, thus exonerating Marco Polo. Marco Polo is released as a free man. Kenneth Marshall as Marco Polo. Denholm Elliott as Niccolo Polo. Tony Vogel as Matteo Polo. David Warner as Rustichello da Pisa. Burt Lancaster as Pope Gregory X. Vernon Dodcheff as Pietro Diabano. John Gielgud as Doge of Venice. John Houseman as Patriarch of Aquileia. F. Murray Abraham as Jacopo. Anne Bancroft as Marco's mother. James Hong as Fagspot. Ian McShane as Ali bin Yusuf. Leonard Nimoy as Ahmed. Mario Adorf as Giovanni. Patrick Moore as Brother Damien. Tony Lobianco as Brother Nicholas. Marilu Tolo as Donna Fiametta. Ingruching as Kublai Khan. Junichi Ishida as Prince Jinkin. Tetsuro Tamba as Sayamon. Gordon Mitchell as Arnolfo. Sada Thompson as Aunt Flora. Soon Teko as Wangzhou. George Islau as Katerina. Catherine Dowling as Monica. Janine Chow as Yenzhou Governor. Terry Raven as Talib. Henry O as Astrologer. The miniseries has won 2 Emmy Awards. For his work in costumes in Episode 3, Enrico Sabatini won the 1982 Emmy and Outstanding Costume Design for a regular or limited series. Vincenzo Labella as a producer, won the 1982 Emmy and Outstanding Limited Series. The miniseries also received 7 nominations in 1982.